But I also think that Palantir is they're kind of fighting an uphill battle there. Operating profit numbers, they look great if you believe they can hit those targets. They're still burning a lot of cash and issuing a lot of stock, but the margins are absolutely headed in the right direction. Right now, this stuff may not seem like it matters, but if Palantir starts screwing up, just remember the common shareholders can't do anything about it. You're just going to sell if it doesn't work. So how much should you be willing to pay for this thing? We've heard that the stock could start trading around $10, which would value the company at $22 billion from the get-go. At $10, the stock will be trading at 20 times sales or 16 times next year's numbers, assuming they come in at the low end of the forecast. That makes Palantir cheaper than recent deals, although it's also got much slower growth. I'm hesitant to give this one a full-throated endorsement because I hate the Class F shareholders thing, too much like feudalism, but right now the numbers do look good. If you can get Palantir for around $10 or ideally less on a pullback, you got my blessing to buy it. Just don't pay up too much for this one. There's too much mystery to it and too much selfishness, too, at least when it comes to corporate governance. Palantir, when I read that they could sell down and have more votes, kind of a yunker state over there, I said, who? All right, a sucker's born every minute if you want that. But, David, a lot of people don't even care about corporate governance. They're so used to A and B shares and, companies that just don't, where your vote means nothing, that people don't even think about it. I think you and I think about it because we don't think it's fair. These are things where people say, okay, it's a company, security, cloud. It's got all the right buzzwords. And then they look at it and they are going to say, look, that's an interesting stock. Price it comes around 10. Of course, the actual dollar price, David, means absolutely nothing except for the Robinhood people. I think that's steadier business than you get from a CrowdStrike, a Splunk. I mean, Palo Alto's got some. Palo Alto valued very richly, but nowhere near as richly as I think we're going to be talking about this one. It is the right niche, and I think people will sell some of the great cyber security and analytics companies like a Splunk that I had on last week to go buy Palantir. They're not going to look at that governance structure because it bores them. All right, then there's the much-beloved Palantir, the surveillance and analytics company that did a big direct listing at the end of September. I told you it'd be worth buying below $10, and then the stock went to 9 and change on the first day. But that was still a pretty guarded recommendation. This thing became a meme stock like GameStop or AMC, jumping to 45 at its peak in January. Since then, it's pulled back to around $24. Though, what do you do with it? I think it's too much of a black box to get a real read on the business, so be careful. I feel a lot more confident if it pulls back below $20.
Palantir is a long-term play.
Long-term play, yes, because I think they do great technology. Unfortunately, we don't really know exactly what they're up to. They have a lot of contracts that we can't break into, but I do think that cybersecurity is good, and I think that Palantir is right.
My question is simple. Is now the time to double down on Palantir?
Well, I don't think this is the time to double down. I mean, it's at 23. I really like to double down when something has come down significantly. Now, I think it is a great software company. Unfortunately, a lot of it's black box. We're not sure they're doing. It's also been propped up because it is that's not a fair term, but it's a Cathie Wood stock, and that's ARK Investments. But it's good. But no, you don't double down until something's come down significant enough to change your basis. Palantir is a buy. They have special technology. I wish we knew all the contracts because it's involved with the government. A lot of it's black box, but they are a very good company, and I say you should buy Palantir.